With the release of Daredevil Season 3, it's time to stop and rank all 7 main Marvel Netflix heroes from the worst to the best. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Chandler, and I started this channel essentially because I was driving everyone around me crazy talking about movies way too much. If you can relate to that you like to talk about movies more than the people around you, you're probably in the right place and consider clicking that subscribe button. With that in mind, also give me your ranking down below in the comment section. Which ones do you love? Which ones do you hate? And if you want to throw some of the side characters in there, go ahead and do that as well. As I dive into this, I'm not ranking them based off of power, but based off of characterization. How intriguing or compelling do I find them? With that said, let's get started. Coming in last place is Danny Rand, Iron Fist. Thus far, they haven't really found a way to make Danny Rand compelling to me. Part of the problem here is that his origin story as a rich white guy that disappears for a while and returns as a superhero has been well played out over the last 15 years, and unfortunately, this is the least interesting version of that story. Add to that the writing for season 1 of Iron Fist was clunky at best and often portrayed Danny Rand in very negative lights where he's a little bit clueless and certainly not inspiring. And also, it doesn't help that the lead actor feels a little bit miscast. With that said, the character and the performance have been improving with each new appearance, and he's worked well as a team-up character. And with the recent cancelizations, I'd be game for Heroes for Hire. Coming in at number 6 is Elektra. Elektra is an interesting character inside the Marvel Netflix universe because they've used her in a bunch of different ways. She's been a hero, she's been a villain, she's been a force of nature, she's been a lover, she's been pretty busy. The problem here is that her character is always defined by her relationship to other people and groups. She's the love interest to Matt. Stick wants to use her, Stick wants to kill her, Stick wants to team up with her. She wants to stop the Hand. She's the leader of the Hand. She's this very cool and interesting character, but she's so tied to other people and things that we haven't gotten to see her full potential. But if Matt can survive that explosion, maybe she'll get her chance in the spotlight too. Number 5 is Luke Cage. He is easily the most naturally charismatic and likable of the Marvel Netflix heroes. They did a great job of establishing him as this unassuming local hero that just wants to clean up the streets. But unfortunately, thus far, they haven't really taken his character on a journey that's gone anywhere that I want to go. When they first introduced him on Jessica Jones, I was so excited for him to get his own show. And then during the setup portion of season 1 of Luke Cage, I was all in. But once they got past the introduction, the further they went down the path, the less interesting he got to me. If he is able to return in some form in the future, I sure hope they're able to get back to what made him so charismatic and likable at the beginning. Coming in at number 4 is Colleen Wing. As much as I've had my frustrations with Iron Fist, I found myself very interested by the slow progression and arc for her character. We first see her as a dojo owner, then a cage fighter, and as we get to know her more and see her interact with Danny Rand more, we suddenly discover that she has deep ties to the Hand, which creates a scenario where we see the Hand in a new and different way, which in its own way gives her depth and it makes the Hand itself more interesting. Then with Iron Fist season 2, they wrote her in such a way and gave her this arc where she figuratively and sort of literally took over the show of Iron Fist. While compiling this list, I was actually pretty surprised at how much I realized that I very much enjoyed the arc that they've given her character. If you're enjoying this video and want more content like this, be sure to click that subscribe button to get more videos like this one in the future. Next week, I will be ranking the Marvel Netflix villains, so that should be a lot of fun. Or if you want a video sooner, check out this playlist up above with my best and most up-to-date Marvel Netflix rankings. Bringing us into the top 3 is Jessica Jones. She's easily the darkest of the Marvel Netflix heroes as her story is so saturated with the pain of the past and trauma. On the one hand, we get to see her as this person with incredible potential for good, and on the other hand, we see her as a person broken by the evil of Kilgrave. And it gives us this incredible exploration of what happens to a powerful person who loses power over themselves. It is absolutely fascinating to me. I just wish that in season 2, they'd moved her story forward rather than doubling down on the pain of her past. Instead of getting to see some of her potential unchained, we see more chains holding her back, which I guess is kind of interesting in its own way. Our runner-up is Frank Castle, the Punisher. They found a way to take this character that can so easily drift towards an action hero stereotype and they found the right angle to make him one of the more intriguing and dynamic characters. This castle has all the brutality and myopic anger that you expect from the Punisher, but they also allow him to be the grieving and hurt husband and father, as well as the ideological opposite of Matt Murdock. We get to understand his worldview and where he's coming from and why he does what he does. Most of the best scenes of dialogue inside of the Marvel Netflix universe involve him going back and forth with either Matt or Karen. Hopefully in season 2, if we get a season 2, we'll get to see his full view of justice on display as he starts taking out mob bosses. But at number 1 is Matt Murdock, Daredevil. The original is still the best. With Matt Murdock, they've crafted this character who's striving to save his community while dealing with these inner conflicts and tensions. Lawyer by day, hero by night. His friendships versus his mission. His faith versus his brutality. His desire to stop criminals for good versus belief in redemption. But what puts him in that top spot is that they've found ways to tell stories which explore each of these themes and tensions inside of his life. He's had to fight through the conflict, usually quite literally, and come through on the other side transformed in a better version of himself while staying true to his original principles. For me, he is easily the best of the Marvel Netflix heroes. Be sure to check out that playlist to the left with my best and most up-to-date Marvel Netflix rankings, and come back in a few days for my ranking of the Marvel Netflix villains. Thank you so much for watching, and keep talking movies and TV too much.